this particular grass will change your life. No, I'm not talking about this grass or this grass. I mean, this one might, but today I'm not going to talk about that. What I will talk about is giant grass or bamboo. I wish it was called giant grass instead, man, because every time I think of bamboo, I instantly picture a panda. Anyway, welcome back to Sustainably Yours, and today we'll talk about how harvesting bamboo can undo decades of carbon footprint. We keep talking about global warming, climate change, carbon emissions, but do you know what's responsible for 40% of global carbon dioxide emissions annually? Buildings, most of which is the result of using construction materials such as steel, aluminium, cement, glass, and all of which are non-renewable. मतलब इनका एक limited supply है हमारे पास, which will be exhausted after a certain point in time. Given the rate at which we cut down forests to obtain building materials, especially timber, we'll most likely not have any rainforests left in about 500 years. Now you might say कि मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, मैं थोड़ी ना जिंदा रहूँगा 500 साल बाद. You're right. And I'm not even asking you to care about your great grandkids, because I couldn't care less about mine either. But you know what's running out in our generation? Oil-based plastics, which is sort of good news because we're trying to get rid of plastic anyway, right? But bauxite, जिससे aluminium बनता है, will be entirely mined away in 65 years, iron in less than 50, copper in half that time. That's where bamboo comes in. It's fully renewable, मतलब ये कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. You can chop it off, not uproot it, but chop it off and it grows right back up sooner than your hair grows out after shaving. It grows up to 1 meter every day, so in about 2 months, it'll be 30 meters tall, which is slightly taller than a 3-storied building. This plant grows faster than my interests change, and let me tell you, they change quick. A bamboo shoot takes about 4 years until it can be harvested and used as durable building material, whereas softwood takes 30 and hardwood can take up to 80 years. Let me remind you that bamboo isn't wood, but its tensile strength is greater than that of steel. In other words, it's stronger than the latter. We have a backward mindset when it comes to bamboo houses because we naturally think of houses or scaffolding in developing nations. But that just goes to prove the point that it's not just strong, but also much cheaper and more easily available. And bamboo houses combined with mud and mortar are the most resistant to earthquakes. Now you're probably wondering कि ऐसे bamboo से हम लोग normal buildings कैसे बनाएंगे that don't look like the dab wala shack at a beach? Well, with the help of technology, we now have bamboo bricks, and its carbon footprint is negative, almost minus half a ton of carbon dioxide per ton of building material produced, because it gives a lot more back than it takes. Do you know that this plant can reforest degraded and eroded lands? 2007 में China planted a bunch of bamboo in slopes that had been badly damaged. In a decade, there was a whole forest there. It can bring life to dead soil. The majority of the bamboo that's exported worldwide grows in tropical countries like China and India, but there's over 1200 species of this plant and you can find them almost everywhere. A lot of it is grown even in temperate nations such as Canada. Now you put 2 and 2 together and you'll figure that it's exported from the aforementioned nations because it's cheaper owing to lower labor costs. Now if you've been watching our content, especially Sustainably Yours, you'll know that this is an issue that comes up a lot and it's pretty much the antithesis to sustainability. Anyway, back to giant grass. Yes, I'm going to stick to calling it that. It has countless uses. It can be used to make paper, can be spun into yarn to make antibacterial clothing. You can make zero waste packaging with it. Bamboo cups, utensils, furniture, even medication, as it's packed with vitamins, minerals, and protein. Have I mentioned that it produces 35% more oxygen than most trees and captures a massive amount of carbon dioxide? So there's this thing called the Bond Challenge, which is a global goal to restore 350 million hectares of deforested land by 2030. Now if we plant 350 million hectares of bamboo, it'll absorb 350 million kilotons of carbon dioxide, which is 10 times the worldwide annual carbon dioxide emission. We not only compensate for 10 years of global carbon footprint, but also regenerate all this land. Incredible, isn't it? I read somewhere, be like bamboo. The higher you grow, the deeper you bow. Rightly said.